chats that you had with them leading up to the draft, what were some of the things that they said that showed you that they were interested in you being a part of this team? And why do you think that they, saw you as a player that they wanted to take at 6? Lynn Dunn said that she didn't think that you would be there when they had another pick at 10. What do you think you bring to this team?
I remember in my first talk with them, I asked, what are you guys looking for in a player? And when they explained it, it felt like I was checking off a lot of those boxes. They wanted someone who was competitive, who hated to lose, who worked hard every possession, and then who could shoot the ball. And I think my entire time at Stanford, those are the things that I love doing, and those are the things that I did. And just excited to get out there and compete and hopefully win some games.
Thank you, Matthew. Vern Glenn. Vern, would you please?
Hey, Lexie, congratulations. First question is this: what have the last few days been like for you?
It's been a hectic last week and a half, I would say. The last few days, found out where I was headed, and they texted me, or they told me that night on a call, get ready, you're leaving on Wednesday. So I packed up my room and hopped on a flight at 8 a.m. Wednesday morning. And it's been a whirlwind, but just trying to enjoy every moment.
Take us back to that moment when you got selected. Did you find out when we all found out? And that said, was it a, oh my gosh, what just happened moment?
It was, well, so we had food catered at the restaurant, and people were going through line, people were talking. And for some reason, like the first 5 rounds, people quieted and looked at the TVs. And then this round, it got extra quiet for some reason. And we all looked, and it said Stanford, we heard Stanford guard, and everyone started screaming, and my jaw dropped. I was like in shock. It was the best moment ever. And then I just went straight to my dad, gave him a hug. My mom was there, gave her a hug, and just being able to celebrate it in that moment, super, super special.
All right, I want to dominate the whole Zoom, but the last one for me, what are they telling you? Just look for the screens and come off the screens?
They're just saying go out there and compete. And I think that's something that I'm super excited about. The rookies that we have coming in is everyone loves to win and everyone hates to lose. And hopefully just starting training camp on Sunday, that's what we'll see and that's what we'll get. And I'm excited for it.
One more thing, I lied. Did Jeanette Poland tell you anything? She played for the Fever too.
Oh, she was ecstatic for me. She was there with me that night. And so she came and gave me the biggest hug, and she said, I'll see you in May, because they're coming back. That team is coming back for a 10-year reunion or something. So excited to see her, and she's going to give me a bunch of recommendations for food and whatnot, but super excited.
Terrific.
Next, we'll go to Tony East.
Hey, Lexie, welcome to Indiana. Being in a draft class with 7 other rookies on the same team, what's that going to be like for you? Do you envision that being helpful for you in an environment where you can grow with a bunch of other people?
I'm super excited about it, and I think it definitely will be helpful. I think the Fever is in a rebuilding stage, and I'm excited to kind of be at the ground floor of that with 6 other people, and see where we can take the program. Great players, great competitors, and excited to get to know them more.
To that point, Emily was talking about how it could help her grow as a person and a human. Do you feel similarly that being in an environment where you can learn from your mistakes a little bit will be helpful for you?
Yeah, for sure. I think every aspect of our lives will change, and we'll be able to grow in every way, especially just being thrown into a new environment and an environment where growth is expected is super, it's going to be super beneficial for all of us. Yeah.
Thank you, Tony. Charlie Clifford.
Hey, Lexie, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're curious. We're asking everyone, basketball is religion around here. What have you heard, or what have you read up on about the Hoosier State?
Everyone says basketball, like you said, is religion, and basketball is everything in Indiana. And I'm super excited to be part of that culture, and super excited to help bring basketball fans to Indianapolis even more. I remember I got to the airport and I was walking through, and all I saw was Pacer stuff, and I was like, what the heck, where's all the Fever stuff? So hopefully that will change in the next couple of years, get people excited for Fever basketball.
Good deal. Good luck.
Thanks.
Thank you, Charlie. Jackie Powell.
Hey, Lexie, this is Jackie Powell with Bleacher Report. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I read an interview that you did with Insider's Meredith Cash, and you said something very interesting. You said it would mean the world to me to be able to walk on the stage at the draft, but I am hungry for any pick because I know regardless of where I'm taken, there's a lot more important work to do. I'm curious as to how you sort of have that leveled mindset about how tough training camp is going to be. And while this is a really exciting time, being drafted doesn't necessarily guarantee you a spot.
Yeah, I think just coming in with that mindset that you can't take anything for granted. And I knew declaring for the draft that the draft was super exciting, super important. But at the end of the day, it doesn't secure you a spot on a team. It doesn't secure you playing time. It's what we do when we get out on the court that matters. And so I'm excited to get to that spot, and now that the draft's over, to enjoy that, breathe that all in, and then excited to just compete and get out there and play.
And I'm also curious how you think Stanford, or your career at Stanford, prepared you for this moment. And did you hear from any of the Stanford pros about any advice?
Mm-hmm. I think Stanford really prepared me for the pro level. I think that just comes from playing from one of the best coaches of all time in Tara. And I've just grown so much as a player and a person that I feel really ready for this moment. And a bunch of Stanford alum had reached out, and the Stanford pro players had reached out. And I talked to a handful before the draft too. And so they gave a bunch of advice moving forward, and just super appreciative of the sisterhood that Stanford has created, and super proud to be a part of it.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Cheryl Coward.
Hi, Lexie. Nice to see you in the draft. I just had a question about what does it feel like to be drafted to a team where you have a better chance of making the actual roster than other teams that are dominated by experienced players and vets?
I think it's that much more exciting because we, as a draft class, can have an impact this season. And I think that unlike other teams, maybe that ability, that opportunity excites me a lot. And I'm just excited to shock the league, because the league doesn't know our team, doesn't know the Fever right now because we're all new. And so just excited to see how we can all play together.
Thank you, Cheryl. Back over to Brenna Green.
Lexie, you became tied as the highest WNBA draft pick ever out of Spokane when you were picked 6th. The same, Brianne January was drafted 6th as well, who also won a championship with the Fever. Just how proud are you of that you have been able to accomplish something like that?
Spokane is home for me, and I'm so proud to be able to call it home. And the support that I feel from Spokane makes me just, it's really special, because I know the support that I have, and the amount of people that have reached out, the amount of support that I feel the past couple of days, and even my entire time at Stanford was unmatched. And so to be able to bring that back to Spokane, I feel just really special about it, and hopefully bring back another championship too.
It was mentioned that Indiana is a huge basketball state, but you kind of come from a basketball city. If there is one on the West Coast, it's probably Spokane. So how do you just kind of feel having that kind of preparation for something like that going into Indiana?
It's a culture and it's a mindset, and I feel ready for it, and I'm excited to get to know the fans here, and to be able to play in front of fans that love basketball and love the sport. So just excited and looking forward to the support that the Fever will have.
Thank you, Cheryl. We'll go to Ben Parker next.
Hey, Lexie, good to see you in the WNBA attire. That's awesome. Congratulations. Just want to kind of get your thoughts on what areas of your game you feel you most kind of need to step up and improve on, so you can find success at this level. Yeah,
I think just really working on my offensive game, taking care of the ball, and working on those pick and rolls. I think that's a big part of the pro level, and being able to read the defense and make the right decision, I think, is going to be the biggest step that I'm going to have to make.
We'll go. Charlie, do you have another one?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
Brenna, do you have another one?
Sure. So, obviously you've been a winner at every single level at your career, Lexie. So just, I guess, what is it kind of like for you to step into this situation where the Fever is in a bit of a rebuild?
Yeah, I think everywhere I've gone, the goal is to get a championship. That was in high school, that was in college, and now it's here. And so I think, and that's the goal for the entire rookie class. That's the goal for the returners and the veterans. So hopefully that we can do that. And that would be the dream, and that's the goal, and that's what we're all working for. So I know that some of us have felt it. Some of us have won national championships. Some of us has won big games, and hopefully we can take that experience and apply it to this level.
There were not, as we talked about the fact that there weren't people who were picking you to go in the first round. That just wasn't the case. So just how does it kind of feel to prove those people wrong going as high as you did?
I mean, it feels great. And I know that I have supporters and my coaches at Stanford, and I can only imagine the things that they must have said to the Fever. But I trust in my abilities, and I trust in my work ethic and my competitiveness. And I feel like I belong here. And so I'm excited for the future holds.
And has Brienne reached out to you at all or anything throughout this process?
No.
We'll go over to Matthew Van Tryen.
Given the fact that, a lot of people didn't think that you would go where you did, not that you necessarily need another thing to fuel your fire, but how much does that, kind of impact your mentality going into these next couple of weeks, especially heading into the season, just trying to show that you belong in the WNBA and that you are worth being picked where you were?
I think it's just a matter of competing. Before the draft, Dejanay, one of my old teammates, texted me and said, prove them right if they draft you high, prove them wrong if they don't. So I'm excited to get out there in training camp and hopefully prove them right. Yeah, I'm just excited to compete, excited to work with the other players here and build a championship season.
Thanks, Matthew. We got time for two more. We'll go to Howard next.
Hey, Lexie, Howard Megdal at the Nets. Congratulations. Now that you've been through it, you have a lot of Stanford teammates who are going to be coming in behind you in the next couple of years, as you know. What's your single best piece of advice to them about having gone through this?
Try to enjoy every moment and be confident in yourself and willing to work as hard as you can. I think my time at Stanford was really special, and I put a lot of work in, and I know that they're putting in a lot of work, and I think it will pay off. I don't think anything outworks hard work. So I'm just excited for them. It's going to be crazy watching next season from TV or from the sidelines, but super excited to see their futures. And I'm a lifelong supporter, lifelong sister. So proud of them.
Appreciate it.
This is probably the best way to close it out. Over to Fever legend and current color commentator, Tully Bevilacqua. Tully, would you please?
Lexie, welcome to Indy. Basketball and cornfields, all right? They're the two things that around here that I learned pretty quickly. Obviously, the Fever have struggled from the three-point line. Do you feel like this is an area where you can kind of like separate yourself and really make your mark for the team?
Yeah, I definitely think I can spread the floor. I spend a lot of time on my shot, and I am confident in my shot. So I'm excited for the opportunity to help bring that to this team.
Awesome. And did you actually get to hear from Stanford great Jane Appel at all?
Yeah, she reached out. She said, text her if you ever need anything. Like I said, the Stanford sisterhood is really strong, and the support is unmatched.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to seeing what you can do, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tully. Thank you, Lexie. Welcome to Indiana. We'll bring Queen up next for everybody.